All right, guys, it's the free agent frenzy now. Pitcher Jason Chadwick has demanded a trade from the Metro Magic. Like everyone is assuming, he probably asked to be the captain. They said no. He said, okay, trade me. That's probably what happened. And now we're going to talk about how the best player in Magic history is on his way out. Now, this is the first video I've ever made where I'm heading into it with a script. I wrote something that I'm going to read from, going over. So we're going to start with my teams interested. My teams interested, I have interested for this Jason Chadwick trade are the Downtown Diamondbacks, the Coastal Cobras, the Great Lakes Gators, and the Western Wildcats. I'm not going to go through why the teams I didn't put on there don't need them. The short answer is they're really, really good, and that's why they don't need them. All right? So, but first we need to start with what the Magic are looking for in return. Obviously, they're looking for, someone that can get it, someone that can, like, pitch. Obviously, that'd be a good commodity. But that's not really what they're looking for. We all know that the Magic's biggest trouble is getting their bats on the ball. With having the lowest league batting average and having it not even be close, they need a utility player or even an outfielder that can get it done at the plate. And it's going to be hard to get a backup or even starting pitcher with the only return being Jason Chadwick. But getting a player that can, getting a utility player that can, or maybe just an outfielder with Chadwick is more than possible. Obviously, Jason Chadwick has not had the best year. He's coming into this with a 3.79 whip with a 4.93 ERA, Jesus Christ, and only having 2 home runs this year as a former home run derby champion, a little underwhelming. But getting a solid utility player, like I said, is more than possible. Another one of the Magic's biggest need, arguably their biggest need, is draft picks. After losing that Trevor Bottom trade by a country mile, they need more draft stock. That's what they're looking for. So getting 1 first-rounder and an outfielder is going to be the majority of these trades. An outfielder / utility player and a first-round pick. So let's go into it. We're going to start with the Downtown Diamondbacks. And I only have 1 trade for them. Some of these teams I have 2 trades for. Some of them I have 1. These are mock trades, by the way. So, for the Downtown Diamondbacks, my offer is Michael Shima and a first-round pick in exchange for Jason Chadwick. This would be the perfect deal. Michael Shima has shown flashes of pitching depth, but nothing really incredible. A first-round pick might be a bit of an overpayment for Jason Chadwick, but seeing as how the Diamondbacks, after just winning that series against the Eagles, they want to get into the playoffs. They need to get into the playoffs. They likely are, so they're definitely going to try to, even a little bit of an overpayment is going to matter to them. They need something for the playoffs, and I think Jason Chadwick is more equipped for that than Michael Shima, in my opinion. Next, we're going to go to my Coastal Cobras and their trade offer. My trade offer for them is Andy Duran and a first-round pick in exchange for Jason Chadwick. This is the exact same thing, except it's a bit less of an overpayment because Andy Duran has not pitched at all. So definitely first-round pick, and for Michael Shima is a great pick for the Cobras, especially because they've clinched a playoff spot and they're probably going to finish 2nd. So, they're definitely going to want even an overpayment for that as well. And an arguably tougher league in the American, but I wouldn't say so. Some would. Then we're going to go to the Great Lakes Gators. I have 2 offers for them. I have Brennan Jorgensen in exchange for Jason Chadwick, 1 for 1. 1 for 1. I think Brennan Jorgensen has also definitely had his issues with hitting throughout his career, but coming from the same draft class, definitely a 1-for-1 trade would not be unreasonable for that. And then my other trade off for them is rookie Reese Harris and a first-round pick in exchange for Jason Chadwick. Reese Harris is a prospect. He's a prospect. He hasn't played much. He's unproven, but he definitely has a lot of potential. He can pitch as well. He's a very dedicated wiffle ball player. If you remember when he got drafted, he traveled over, like, like some crazy amount of miles just to play in a wiffle ball league, and he was really good. He was incredible. He hits bombs. He's not that great of a pitcher, but if you need him to pitch, he'll pitch. I've been following him for a little bit now, and he's definitely someone that can get it done. And a first-round pick, just as a sweetener, is for sure gonna sweeten the pot a little bit. And finally, we're gonna close this out with, I also have like a bonus one, but we'll get to that later because I think it's very unlikely. The Wildcats offer, I have Jackson Pearson, 1-for-1 for Jason Chadwick. If you watch that Wildcats Magic series, it was Jackson Pearson. He started a game. The guy can pitch. He's a great pitcher. He was drafted as a utility player, but he was only really used as an outfielder. And then in that series, you saw that he's a great pitcher, you know? And I think he's a way better hitter than Chadwick. And I think a 1-for-1 trade would not be unlikely. So those are my mock trades. As a recap, we have Shima in a first in exchange for Chadwick, Andy Duran in a first in exchange for Chadwick, Brendan Jorgensen in exchange for Jason Chadwick, and Reese Harris in a first in exchange for Jason Chadwick, and Jackson Pearson in exchange for Jason Chadwick, 1-for-1. And a bonus trade I have is Jonah Heath in exchange for Jason Chadwick. This would be a blockbuster deal, but I think this would be a loss for the Diamondbacks. Heath is a better player than Chadwick. He just had an incredible series against the Eagles, and for them to trade him would just be silly. But maybe it's just something you can keep your eyes out for. So I came into this with a script. I'm really happy about the video. I'm really proud about how the script turned out. I'm sure I'm gonna be happy with the way the video is gonna turn out when I upload it. I appreciate you guys. Bye, be safe to text and drive. We'll see what happens with Jason Chadwick, the Magic.